Darfur's genocide began in 2003. I've seen the profile of Darfur rise, at least, among the student population. We do see. My generation has gone strangely silent. I don't know. We who marched against the Vietnam War, and we were so vocal and passionate, have become dispassionate. And that's another matter. I don't know why. But I'm seeing in the students that I speak to, because I talk whenever possible when students invite me to campuses, the stand groups are amazing, and bravo to them. And there's been a divestment campaign. This also is crucial to remind people, if your holdings are in Fidelity, for example, check where, if you've got your nest egg somewhere, that your money isn't being used to finance a genocide. These two massive oil companies, PetroChina and Sinopec, are financing a genocide. So I didn't know, actually, my pension plan was with Fidelity. So I pulled it right out, and I wrote an op-ed about Fidelity. Fidelity's not the only one, but it's something to check in to make sure that you've got your nest egg in a place that's not harming innocent people.
The Sudanese government bombed us, and then the Janjaweed took 31 of my people and killed them. After they killed the women, they threw them into a fire. I am sure that in just 1 hour, 31 people were killed, and one was my brother. The Sudanese army bombed my village, and then they came with tanks. 100 people were killed. Then the Janjaweed came and raped all the young women and put all the pregnant women on a fire. My sister was raped and killed. She was 16 years old. And then they came with their trucks and ran over the little children. The Arabs ran over them, just like leaves on the ground.
We are coming to Chad because the government of Sudan, they try to destroy all the people living there because they are black people. So the government of Sudan, yes, they use airplane for burning the area, and the Janjaweed people, they got rid of the horses and camels and big car for carrying the big bomb, and also they have airplane offside and try to bomb the village. Attack more the children and the old man. They are not trying to running. They are all killed. The place where they attacked by the Janjaweed, it's Habila, and Beda also, the village around the Beda, and also Arara, village around the Arara. And this area, they are all burned by the government people and the Janjaweed. I want all the people in the world, they know that what's happening in Darfur. The government, when he want this, because he want to make Sudan country for the Arab people only, because the name of the Sudan is being Arab country, and also the group of the Arab people from the other countries like Saudi Arabia and Syria and Jazair and more Arab like this. When I went in Libya, I hear that this is Arab committee of the Arabs. Yes, I hear this before. I went to Libya in 1992. I hear this by my ears. The Janjaweed is from Chad and Sudan. They are all doing in one circle, so as to make Sudan and Chad, they all belong to Arab country. The food, it's not enough. It's not enough for all. Not enough food to eat. And the water is not okay. The water is not okay. UNICEF, they help us more for education and try to bring the boxes for reading and also. But until now, it's not enough also for all.
God, they're unable to plant. They don't have their seed supplies. They don't have their land. And even if they had access to a field, they don't have the security to go out there and plant, let alone harvest after the rainy season. So they're missing their season of planting here, as they've missed it for I don't know how many seasons in Darfur. So then you have an extremely fragile population. Now will be dependent on aid agencies who have cut way, way back after December evacuations, skeletal, unable to meet the needs of the people. So I think you're going to just see huge mortality rates, huge. Was really among the first to call it a genocide. It made the determination in 2004. Colin Powell came right out and said, "I've determined that genocide has occurred." And in the same paragraph, he said, "This doesn't mean we have to do anything." So thereby, essentially killing the Genocide Convention Act, saying, it's not imperative that we do anything. I mean, I think there should be a permanent UN force. I don't think this genocide would have happened, not in Darfur, and it wouldn't be ongoing in Chad right now, if there had even been the threat of an intervention. We had UN Resolution 1706, that was in early September. That should have sent 22,700 peacekeepers into Sudan, because it had a robust Chapter 7 mandate. That meant it did not require the consent of the government. But what it did require was the political will to go in against the wishes of that government, perpetrators of the genocide. And there's no precedent for this, so people are dilly-dallying, knocking on the door and saying, please, Mr. Hitler, can we come in and liberate the camps? Please, Omar al-Bashir, can we come in and stop your genocide? No? Oh dear, so there's all this hand-wringing. Now, I guess there's this larger monopoly game, going back to your question of where China and the United States are in a bigger game, where apparently the people of Darfur and Eastern Chad and Central African Republic too are the expendable chips in some bigger money game. With knowledge, surely comes responsibility. And I figure if people know, and then they turn away, well, they're bad. They got to take the consequences of that, because you just can't be apathetic. But you know, with knowledge, you can figure out how you can get in on the process of stopping this. Yeah, I just hope people will just get on fire about this. You know, that we can look back at Rwanda and say, gee, that was terrible. If only we'd known. And what were we doing when you know, more than 800,000 people were slaughtered? This is Rwanda in slow motion. This is preventable. And yet, it's been 4 years in Darfur.